gather round, friends, and let me spin you a tale of Abraham Lincoln, a man of humble beginnings whose legacy as a beacon of freedom and justice still illuminates the path of nations. This story of Lincoln, often remembered as the great emancipator and the savior of the Union, stretches from the backwoods of Kentucky to the grandeur of the White House during America's most tumultuous times. Born in a log cabin in 1809, Abraham Lincoln grew up on the American frontier in the states of Kentucky and Indiana before his family settled in Illinois. His early life was marked by hardship and scant education, but young Abe was voracious for knowledge, devouring books whenever and wherever he could find them. This self-taught lawyer's journey from a rough-hewn rail splitter to a shrewd politician is a testament to the power of perseverance and self-education. Lincoln's political career began in the Illinois legislature, and he later served a term in the U.S. Congress. However, it was his debates with Stephen A. Douglas during the 1858 Senate race that catapulted him onto the national stage. Though he lost the election, his articulate defense of free soil and moral opposition to slavery won him the Republican nomination for president in 1860. His election to the presidency in November of that year was a catalyst for unprecedented national conflict. As Lincoln took office, the Southern states, feeling threatened by his policies against the expansion of slavery, began seceding from the Union, leading to the outbreak of the Civil War in 1861. Despite his lack of military experience, Lincoln proved to be a capable leader during the war, navigating the Union through the darkest chapters of its history. Now let us delve deeper into Lincoln's presidency during the war years, a period that tested not only his leadership, but also the very fabric of the nation. Facing a divided nation and continuous battlefield losses, Lincoln took decisive action. In 1863, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared that all slaves in the rebellious states were henceforth and forever free. This pivotal act linked the cause of the Union to the cause of freedom and marked a moral turning point in the war. Despite the ongoing war, Lincoln pressed for progress on the home front, promoting the passage of the Pacific Railway Act to build the Transcontinental Railroad and signing legislation that established the national banking system and the Department of Agriculture. His vision extended beyond the immediate crisis, laying the groundwork for a unified, progressive nation. As the war drew to a close with the Union's victory in sight, Lincoln's thoughts turned to reconciliation. His second inaugural address, delivered in March 1865, was a poignant reflection on the nature of the war and a call for healing and unity, famously concluding with the words, "With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right, let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds." Tragically, just days after the Confederate surrender at Appomattox, Lincoln's story was cut short. On April 14, 1865, he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth, a Southern sympathizer. His death plunged the nation into mourning and marked him forever as a martyr for liberty. In the flickering light of our campfire, as we reflect on Lincoln's life and legacy, let us remember him not only as the president who saved the Union and emancipated the slaves, but as a symbol of perseverance, moral clarity, and the unending quest for equality. His legacy teaches us that leadership is not just about high office, but about steadfast values and a vision for a better future. Here's to Abraham Lincoln, whose spirit of unity and liberty continues to inspire us across the centuries. Let his story remind us, as the embers of our campfire glow warmly, let's continue the journey through the profound legacy of Abraham Lincoln, exploring how his ideals and leadership continue to resonate in the tapestry of American history and beyond. After Lincoln's assassination, the nation faced the daunting task of Reconstruction. The period aimed at rebuilding and redefining the United States. While Lincoln himself had envisioned a moderate approach to reunifying the nation, his untimely death left the execution of these plans in less conciliatory hands. His vision of malice toward none and charity for all was a beacon that, at times, seemed dimmed by the harsh policies and turbulent politics that followed. Yet, Lincoln's foundational principles of equality and unity eventually shaped the course of American civil rights. The legacy of Lincoln's leadership extended far beyond the immediate aftermath of the Civil War and the era of Reconstruction. The principles he championed became cornerstones of future struggles for justice and equality. As the years passed, Lincoln's image was invoked repeatedly by those who sought to advance civil rights, including during the pivotal moments of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. often referenced Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation and his dedication to the Union and human dignity when making their case for racial equality and justice. Internationally, Lincoln became a symbol of freedom and democracy. His speeches and writings, particularly the Gettysburg Address and his second inaugural address, have been celebrated globally for their eloquence and depth in capturing the essence of democratic ideals and human rights. His assertion that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth, resonated worldwide, inspiring movements for freedom and equality across continents. Lincoln's commitment to education and human advancement also left an indelible mark on American society. His signing of the Morrill Act in 1862 established land-grant colleges across the nation, democratizing higher education and expanding the country's scientific and agricultural knowledge base. This act not only transformed American higher education, but also laid the groundwork for a nation that values education as a pillar of societal growth and personal development. Moreover, Lincoln's ability to communicate complex ideas in a clear and relatable manner has made him a timeless icon in American culture and leadership studies. His speeches are studied by students and leaders alike for their powerful rhetoric and profound humanity. His leadership style, marked by empathy, humility, and resilience, continues to be a model for effective leadership in times of crisis. As we reflect on Lincoln's legacy under the stars tonight, let us consider the enduring impact of his vision for America, a vision of a nation committed to equality, justice, and unity. His life reminds us that great leadership demands not only firm resolve, but also a compassionate understanding of the human condition. So here's to Abraham Lincoln, whose spirit remains a guiding light in our ongoing journey toward a more perfect union. Let his dedication to the principles of democracy and human dignity inspire us to strive for a better world, just as he did more than a century ago. Cheers to a legacy that continues to inspire and guide us all.